everybody. My name's Derek. You probably can't see me. And this is Fatal RPM. And today we're finally going to get started on something that people have been asking for. And that's going to be the widebody. So I'm just getting started here, getting my gloves on, because this car is not what I would call clean. So I just need to go ahead, start taking off some of these bolts. Now, if you don't know where the widebody is from, it is a JPFiberglass Daytona. I think it's version 1 widebody. And this was the widebody, the only, honestly, widebody that's available on the market for this Z. But it takes inspiration. That was a lot louder than I thought it was going to be. It takes inspiration from one of the Pandem kits. So that's the one that I did like. Now, do I know what I'm doing? No, not exactly. But I do know that it is a little bit late here today, so I'm actually going to be splitting this video up into 2 days. So if you notice continuity change in the outfit, that's the reason why. But today I want to go ahead, get the bumpers off and maybe the side skirts. Really depends on how much hardware there is. I don't have too much time to spend here in the garage, but I want to go ahead and get this done. So we got a couple 10 mil bolts along the front here, just under the hood when we pop it. I know that we're going to have to go into the wheel wells, and I'm not sure what we're going to be able to access from under the car. Able to access from under the car, but we're going to go ahead and see what we got to get from under there. But yeah, 5-10 mils. So voiceover Derek here. So I had actually had an issue where my mic muted itself, but this part here is where we're gonna have to start fighting with the car, and that's mainly because everything's bolted in different directions. On the side, it wants to be pulled forward to come off. On the bottom, it wants to be pulled down. On the top, it wants to be pulled towards the cabin. Like, it just wants to be pulled in so many different ways. More than likely, there's an easier way to do this, but as far as how to get it off, this is how I figured it out. But yeah, it took quite a while. I was over this. There. Like, what am I fighting? You can kind of see. There's nothing really under here to hold us back. I'm not seeing anything. Looks like it's just legitimately, excuse me, those two little plastic pieces right here. It's crazy that this is being held up by that. It's crazy. Finally. Hello? Hello? What? Ow! This one's stuck. That was the biggest pain in the ass I've ever had to deal with on a body panel. Oops. Let me show you what we were dealing with. All right, so I guess the initial idea with this bumper, when it was originally designed, was to undo these three, the 6 on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or sorry, wait, what? Because there were 5 here, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 7 on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the bottom. The 3 on the other side, and then the 5 across the top. And then
undo the lights. And then after you undo the lights, you gotta somehow pull it forward, like toward yourself, away from the car, and tilt it up so that these guys can pass whatever the hell they were stuck on over here, as well as get them off the studs right here. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. I hate it, I hate it. I hate it so much that I'm not redoing this. This is staying off the car forever. We are never putting that bumper back on this car. That is the dumbest. I hate it. I hate it. So it's the next day, and I've popped the trunk here and started counting, and this is absolutely ridiculous. I was over it yesterday, and I came back with a fresh mind, and I was like, nope, today's gonna be a lot better. It's gonna be so much better. And I popped this trunk, and I was like, no. But real quick, one thing I realized on the way over to the garage today is that we're actually not gonna be able to fully mount the bumpers, and the reason why is because of just the massive amount of hardware and the way that this bumper actually attaches to the car. And what I mean by that is this. So, as you can see, these are 3 of the studs that we had to disconnect in order to get the bumper off the front of the car. Now, this is actually a metal plate separate from the bumper itself. Same thing on that side, and across the top, the studs are on the car right here under the hood, wherever you would have your intake filter at. So, without having everything lined up perfectly, I don't want to fully mount this bumper. And that's because I know I'm going to run into fitment issues if I try to fully mount the bumper and get everything on there right now, compared to just waiting until I have the over fenders on the car as well as the side skirts, just to make sure everything's lined up, marked, and pretty much like partially mounted to the car. So with all that aside, let me show you this. So as far as under the bottom, super simple. You got these guys here. There's 4 of these. There's 1 on each side right here like that. But the ridiculousness, it's honestly, it's not that bad. It's just the sheer amount is mind-boggling, especially for it being the rear. But actually, I can kind of understand it with it catching air. But let me show you what. So, what you're gonna have to do to get the rear bumper off of a Z31 300ZX is remove the carpet. 1, take out this little panel here. That's 2. It's just mainly plastic clips. I don't know if this part has to come out for it, but from I honestly don't know, because this car was partially put together anyway, so some of the stuff in here wasn't even on there. But get that plastic piece off, and then you have 15 nuts. Count them. 1, oh, can't see that one, but 1 where my middle finger is pointing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in here, 8, 9, 10 under here, 11 right there, 12, 13, there's a 14th one in the corner, and the 15th one behind this panel here. 15 nuts. 15. 15. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling these things off. It's gonna take a minute. Well, it's not gonna take that long. It looks like they're all pretty much in good condition. It doesn't look like any of them are rusted on, except for these ones here on these corners. But those shouldn't be, I'm not even gonna say that. I don't wanna jinx myself. I have a bad habit of doing that. So let's go ahead, get under this car, take all the ones under off, and then we'll come back here into the trunk, get these ones off. One thing I will say about this is we are 100% doing quick release on this bumper. You hate yourself if you don't do quick release on this bumper. You do. I'm sorry. You just do. Yes. See, my ratchet agrees with me. That feels like it's wet. Woo! She's a little rusty. Looks like it's all surface right now, which is good. I just need to figure out where this water's coming in. Alright. I'm gonna give each one of these studs a little tap with the mallet. Little rubber one. This guy, don't want to break anything. Looks like there's one inside the bumper, probably. So there's another one under the one. So, gotta also take that one off. You know who does this? People on coke do this. People on coke design shit like this. Theoretically, this should come off now. How easily that will be is a different question. I don't want to start pulling on shit and breaking shit. That didn't sound like something broke, did it? Nah, that wasn't a break. That was just a loud confirming release. Like that. Just a lot less concerning. And it looks like that's everything, actually. I can see all the studs in there. All right, let's get this guy off. Woo! Dusty. Woo! Holy hornet's nest. There are 3 in that corner. Luckily nothing flew out, so I know they're not alive. But there are 3 hornet's nests in that corner. I'm gonna stay over here. And you're gonna go have a seat outside, sir, once we're done here. Woo, that was a much bigger one too. Let's have some fun. So you got 1 little guy, 2 guy, and then I was like, oh, there's a 3rd here too. There's a 3rd, much bigger. Nothing's alive in there, luckily. So we're just gonna, yeah. Say goodbye to that. So it looks like they thought about doing dual exhaust at one point. There's a little flap here covering where the exhaust would have came through. Neat. Looks like these are 14s. Yep. 4 14s holding these guys to the car. Or holding this guy to the car. Yeah. Get one of these guys to make your life a lot easier. I assume breaking these is not going to be easy. Don't want to cut myself on anything. Actually, it wasn't that hard. Probably should have cleaned the threads before going to take these guys off, but it's whatever. Hopefully I don't get rear-ended, or that's my ass. Quite literally, because right behind this is my gas tank. I will be a Ford Pinto, sitting in the middle of the road on fire, engulfed in flames. You know, fuck this. That's getting lubricated. Can't with those squeaks and squeals. Where's my lubricant? Oh, you can't be serious. Like a Band-Aid. Like a Band-Aid. Oh my God. Oh, don't you even What? This is really that on there. Like, this is pry bar prying away at it, not on there. Pry bar prying away on it, on there. Derek Smith, 2021. All right. Plan B. Alrighty. That's 4. Ow. And we just got to do 4 more over here. All right, that's number 4. And this thing's actually coming off already by itself, so. Whee! Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hornet's nests. But these guys don't want to come off. Don't know why. They just don't. I wonder if I'll be able to fit the bumper on over this. Answer to that question is yes. Actually, the answer to that question is maybe. I think this thing has warped quite a bit inward, because it is much larger. Looks like it will meet up. We just got to trim it out a little bit. A little bit, not too much, just a little bit. It's gonna hold this up to here, and it looks like it will just barely fit. But you want kind of a look of what it might look like when it's on there. There you go. So now that is officially both the front and rear bumpers off. Now we just got to work with the side skirts. Surely these won't be just simple side skirts. There's going to be like 8,200 screws that I'm going to have to take off, and then I'm going to have to sacrifice my first child, whenever I have that, to finally. All right, so just feeling around, I'm feeling one right here, another right here, right before the seam, and then behind that, so that's 2. Running my hand along. It's 3 right here, lined up perfectly with the second bolt on the seal. That's 3. 4 just after the third bolt, or third screw. That's 4, and that one's actually loose, so that one's been out. 5 right at the edge of the opening to the door. So it's 5. So I got 5. No way this is only going to be 5 screws. The rear bumper had 15 on top. There's no way this only has 5 screws. It was 2 bolts and 4 screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 bolt there, second bolt there. To get to the frontmost bolt, you have to kind of pull out the wheel well and feel around for it. Unless you have all 4s off the ground, and you can pull the wheels off, then you can pull out the wheel wells. But other than that, super simple. So let's go ahead, try and test fit the new side skirts, front and rear bumpers. Well, front bumpers, because unfortunately I don't have anything to cut out the space required for the rear bumpers, and hopefully that's not going to be the vibe for all the pieces, so I can actually try and test fit some stuff here, but I guess we'll just see. So let's go ahead and try it out. we'll just say there for now. So, looks like dash bar needs to come off for the front too. All right. That's doable. So I know there's a sensor under here. What it's for, I have no idea. But